So yesterday morning, there were headlines all over the country about how Gavin Newsom, Democrats in California, defeated Trumpism. By voting no on the recall, Gavin Newsom gets to stay governor, and Larry Elder, the front-running Republican, is not going to be the next governor of California. And again, all the headlines and all the liberal papers, all the centrist papers talking about Trumpism was defeated. And that's not even close to what actually happened in California, folks. Trumpism was not defeated. We're talking about one of the bluest states in the country where registered Democrats outnumber registered Republican 2-1. There's a little over 10 million registered Democrats. There's only about 5 million registered Republicans. And we're supposed to act like this is some kind of big defeat of Trumpism? When 50% of registered voters are Democrats and a Democrat wins after being recalled for the dumbest possible reason, there was no real scandal involved. So of course, Gavin Newsom survived the recall. Sure, Larry Elder, the conservative radio host who is, a different version of Trump, I guess you could say, basically trying to model himself after Trump, as so many others are. But at the end of the day, this is still a blue state. Yes, there's red areas of the state, but the Democrats still outnumber them 2-1. And sure, there was a time when it looked like Newsom was vulnerable, but that time didn't actually last very long. So here's the thing. Can we stop writing the epitaphs, carving out the gravestones for Trumpism? Because it was not defeated in California. If anything, it got a little bit stronger because before the results even came in, you had Elder, you had Donald Trump himself, you had Tomi Lahren out there saying that Gavin Newsom won, even before he won, because of voter fraud. They're spreading the big lie out there, and anytime a Republican loses, believe it or not, folks, that actually bolsters that lie. Because they don't ever have to accept responsibility for their losses anymore. All they have to do is say, well, it's probably just the voter fraud. I'd have won if it weren't for the voter fraud. This is how elections are going to be held from now on. This is how the results are going to be handled by these Republicans. And again, I want to point out the fact that Newsom was recalled for the dumbest possible reason. And don't get me wrong, I am glad Newsom won, okay? I'm not trying to, poo-poo that idea at all. I am glad that happened. But here's the thing, Newsom was recalled. Do you know why? Has anybody actually paid enough attention to remember where this started? No, it was not the French Laundry maskless event, folks. That wasn't what started it. What started it was an angry right-wing sheriff in California in February of 2020, before the COVID-19 pandemic even hit the United States. He started the recall petition because Newsom put a moratorium on moving forward with the death penalty in the state of California. That's why the recall petition was created. And the recall petition officially had run out of time. But a Trump-appointed judge in California said, you know what? I'm going to give you more time because now there's a thing called a pandemic. Because yes, by that point there was. And so then you had Gavin Newsom put the lockdown in place. Then he gets photographed without a mask at this, snooty little event. Hypocritical? Yes. Scandal? No. Illegal? No. But it pissed off enough people, they signed on to the recall, and that's the position we were in this week. And Newsom survived, as he should have. But let's not act like this was some kind of repudiation of Trumpism in a state where Democrats outnumber Republicans 2-1. If you can't get enough Ring of Fire, we encourage everyone to subscribe to our channel for fresh video content 7 days a week. And for even more from me, you can follow me on all social media outlets, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram @FairandBalanced.